There is no delicate way to put this. Port-au-Prince looks and smells like a dump, because it is. 10 months after the earthquake, the city has degenerated into a filthy cauldron of water, garbage, and human waste. The garbage situation has always been a problem here, but now no one pays any attention to where they dump it, and the government makes virtually no effort to pick it up.
Waste management was under-resourced prior to the January 2010 earthquake, and worse after the disaster. The rubble created by the earthquake only increased the severity of the problem, and as a result, waste has the potential to become a resource that is currently going unused in the country. This act of recycling will give Haitians both a dwelling for their families and a cleaner environment. Port-au-Prince received the most severe exposure from the earthquake. 235,000 evacuated with government assistance as a result, and over 1 million people became homeless, while almost 40% of the total population was hit hardest. And besides earthquakes, Haiti is also vulnerable to other natural hazards such as cyclones and floods. Another resource becomes more abundant after the earthquake. Nearly 40% of the rubble created by the earthquake remains today. This waste can be collected and sorted to create different elements, and it can be repurposed into the architectural realm. The population is almost 10 million and projected to grow 50% by 2040. Right now, roughly 10% have a disability, a 59.9% literacy rate. There is an average of 4 children per woman, and roughly 70% of the population survive on less than $2 a day, making the majority of the country lower class, and making low-cost buildings the only feasible option. The average Haitian household consists of 6 members, and that becomes the target design of these individual homes. The K house was a variation of West African earth dwellings and were mostly found in the south, where it symbolized pride and independence. It can easily become longer and are room wide, making it well ventilated. Crow houses come from Spanish plans but also influenced by African traditions. It is typically raised for better breezes and storage. It can be grown by adding rooms on each side as well. The new dwellings would be based on these types of houses, offering inhabitants something familiar to live in and allowing families to adapt quicker. These units will be able to adapt to different needs by being able to expand as required for families, give them a sense of true sustainability. And as more units are added with cleared lands to install these dwellings, a laku can be created. Laku is the network of people within a group living and sharing responsibilities, as well as the compound or yard they share. The materials required for an area vulnerable to several natural disasters do not come cheap. The formerly common material, wood, is nearly extinct as 98% of the forests are gone. As an alternate, bamboo is grown and used within Haiti's neighborhood and grows to maturity within 3 years. Trash burning produces white smoke and probably plenty of dioxins. The area is estimated to produce between 14 to 1600 metric tons of solid waste every day. Using this waste saves landfills and gives it a new intent and purpose, instead of becoming a part of the waste stream. Waste that cannot be reused can be crushed up, packaged in a tarp, and used as gravel bags, similar to earth bag construction. That is a technique that evolved from military bunker construction and temporary flood control methods. The main component of waste being revitalized are PET bottles, or commonly known as pop bottles. They come in many sizes, and in this design 2-liter and 20-ounce bottles are commonly used. PET stands for polyethylene thermalate, which has been designed specifically to be an inherent material so it will not break down and release harmful substance. It is designed to be lightweight, strong, safe, and shatterproof, while offering great protection to the natural properties of welded packages. Because most waste is not biodegradable, they remain at their point of disposal until moved by wind or rain and can be washed downhill and eventually deposited in the sea. Other waste will commingle in gutter and drainage pathways, forming miniature dams and water flow obstructions that disrupt sewage systems and cause serious urban flooding. So the key sites will be the canals. The plan is to clean up the known water canal used for waste in Port-au-Prince, then move north to another canal, and then develop in other areas used as dump sites. This is a design in which the Haitians build themselves, as they feel like they are truly owners of the structures when they are part of the rebuilding effort themselves. These will help strengthen communities as well re-establish and strengthen traditional family structure by working together by building these homes in close proximity. A laku will be reintroduced and reinforced through its development in an area. Also improves the quality of life of the community by building a better environment, developing dignity and improving quality of life for residents and future generations without huge economic investment. The first step after selecting a lot is excavating a 6-inch 26-foot by 22-foot square into the ground, then installing a perforated pipe to act as a trench around the house to channel water away, and then insert the main bamboo with concrete foundations. The bamboo frame will be inserted into the ground, and it's the main structural element because it flexes in earthquakes and strong winds without breaking, and has twice the compressive strength of concrete and roughly the same strength-to-weight ratio of steel and tension. And by using discarded clothing, we can connect the bamboo sticks together by tying them. Waste and rubble will be broken down and sorted. Gravel bags will be filled airtight, providing a solid foundation that elevates the house from the ground. Stone and rubble are used to infill the trench. Bottles are cut and then inserted into each other, creating plastic tubes, which are stacked side by side and secured into the bamboo frame with metal wires spaced at intervals up the frame. These wires hold the bottles in place and cross-tie wire binds it into a solid wall, and with sand from the excavation filled in the bottom rows for stability. "20-ounce bottles will be inserted into each other and attached with metal ties to create a window or door. Rolled up plastic tends to unroll out, so it will be able to secure itself in the hole of a bottle to create a hinge, and slits on the top and bottom will unroll and expand out further to prevent this hinge from sliding up and down. The roof structure is created from the same 20-ounce bottles as the doors and windows, and they're attached with fishing wire and a plastic tarp as a weatherproof membrane, with aluminum cans cut in half and tabbed together as protection of the membrane. It has an overhang in the front, sloping towards the rear, and with a gap between the top of the panel and the roof for ventilation. A gutter system is provided in the rear to collect water for the residents to use. Within each room or section of the house, a glass bottle filled with water and chlorine is inserted halfway through the roof and caulked to prevent leaks. When the sunlight hits the bottle, rays are carried down through the water and dispersed in the space, giving off as much light as a 55-watt bulb. Cheap construction help house people who cannot afford conventional construction techniques. Through the use of a somewhat new but more retained resource in waste, Haiti, Port-au-Prince specifically, will find cleaner streets and fresher air. Waste will be used as a material, saving the forests and trees. The remaining waste and rubble will be repurposed and reactivated within a wall construction method, and communities will be rebuilt and affordable to the entire country. Haiti will be revitalized through the use of waste.